Alright, I'm back. I wanted to keep talking about McDonald's toys. I kind of cut off that topic last time to start talking about Birth of a Nation. How did I get to that point? Oh, yeah, because I was talking about Song of the South. And I was talking about the toys and the toy promotion they did. So, another toy that they did at McDonald's was these things called knickknacks. And it's where you could move the arms around and the legs around, and it was like a square, and you could turn the head, and I have never been able to find the toy again online. I can't find it anywhere. And it's probably because it's got a name like Knick-Knack. I mean, Knick-Knack literally could mean anything. Oh, I wonder what that other pipe came from. So, if anyone can figure out what toy that is, Knick-Knack, you should tell me, because I really want to find it again. But I used to have the toy. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and then threw it away. Or mom threw it away. She threw away our stuff all the time. We've had a lot of strange disappearances in our house. I'll never forget this, but when we were younger, we used to have this Rugrats tape. We didn't have cable. I mean, we did for like a year, but my mom's always been like, that's a waste of money. And it is true. Cable is a waste, especially nowadays where you can just watch everything the next day online for free. So we never had cable. I never grew up with it, but you know, Nickelodeon, I was aware enough of the shows and Disney Channel. Neighbors, they had Disney Channel and such. A show I loved though was Rugrats. I really loved the movies they did. And well, we had this Rugrats tape that my cousins filmed for us. And like they taped it off a dish, and the coolest thing about that tape was just the commercials, because it was all like just late 90s commercials, a lot of Nickelodeon magazine promotions, and it was just cool. But one day the tape just mysteriously disappeared. This was around the time we were doing a yard sale, and there was a couple things we got rid of. One of them was actually back to fast food. It was this McDonald's tape where it was like these cartoons of it was like this cartoon series that they did with the creators of Rugrats. McDonald's did this series that involved Ronald McDonald and crap. And it was actually it was a movie I actually watched a lot, and I ended up just buying it again because for some reason my mom got rid of it. I must have been going through a phase where I'm like, I'm too cool for that because I'm older now. I shouldn't have said that because that tape was actually really cool. The Wacky Adventure of Ronald McDonald. If you look that up online, it's got one of the craziest intros ever. Because it kind of has an intro like Pee-wee's Playhouse, weirdly enough. And then it goes into animation, and it's just weird. But yeah, back to the VHS disappearance. I mean, we sold a bunch of stuff at that yard sale. Oh, I guess that was how you get them. And one of the I always figured that if whatever happened to that Rugrats tape, it must have just, my mom must have sold it at the yard sale. And well then it always bothered me though, so I'd always look through the VHSs trying to find it, and I never did. But then we were at my grandma's one day, and then I was looking through their VHSs because I thought, hey, wait a minute, what if that VHS is actually at grandma's house for some reason? It wouldn't make any sense, but what if for some reason we decided to stay at her house one night, we brought the VHS with her, something weird like that, and it's just at her house? Well, I went looking around for it, and I ended up finding it. Rugrats was, the label was scratched out, and instead it said, it was like my uncle's wedding that they put in. They like over-recorded it to put my uncle's wedding on it. Because we recorded it with our camera there, my uncle's wedding, and we wanted to give our grandma a copy, and instead they were like, well, we don't have any extra VHSs around, so they grabbed the Rugrats one, and then they over-recorded it, and they put in that instead, and I found that, and I was like, oh my god, that's what happened to it. Oh, I couldn't believe that. I was like, of course I find it all these years later. That was just recent too. That was like in the last year that I found that, and I was like, I was kind of hoping to actually find the real thing and then be able to watch all those neat commercials, but it looks like that's never gonna happen. I mean, I'm sure someone on YouTube has all of the commercials that aired on that tape anyway, but it is just way cooler to watch it on a tape and like in order. But yeah. Another strange VHS disappearance. So was when we were younger. What happened? We had a VHS of Pinocchio. You know, everyone or had they owned the exact same Disney movies. Everyone did. Every single family had the same one. So the neighbors also had Pinocchio. We were at my neighbors and we're like, we want to watch Pinocchio. So we took out their VHS copy. Not we didn't bring ours over from our house. We watched theirs at their house. And then yeah, we watched it and I remember this so vividly. We got to the scene where the whale starts attacking, and it was right in the scene where Pinocchio starts drowning in the water. It's just a quick shot of him drowning through the water. That our mom showed up at the house, you know, at the neighbors, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, time to go home, kids. Stop watching this movie. We want to finish it." And it's like, she's like, of course, she's just like ticked off. She's like, "What the heck, you guys? You own this movie." We're like, "Oh, what do you know?" So we got home and we're like, you know what? We want to finish it tonight. It was like 9 o'clock at night, but we were young, but whatever. She's like, fine, finish it quick, because there was only probably like, I think at that point in the movie there's like 20 minutes left. Well, then we pop in the VHS. You know, back then no one round any VHSs. Everyone just like, once you were done watching whatever part you were done watching at, that's where the tape's gonna sit, because people aren't gonna rewind. It's crazy how much people did that, because I've been cataloging my the VHSs I own, and with that I decided that I was gonna like rewind them all too, and just it was insane how many times I had to rewind tapes just because people got lazy. They just are like, yeah, I'm done with the movie, and then it's like at the very end of the movie they wouldn't rewind it, or it'd be better yet, it'd be like halfway through the movie, like not even done yet, and they would stop watching it. So then halfway through the tape is where the position of the movie would be. So we pop in Pinocchio, and we were just like, well, let's see what scene we're at, because the VHS was not rewound, and then we'll try to find the scene of, you know, that we were at, and we remembered it was the scene with the whale. Well, we pop it in, and the VHS was at the exact same scene that our cousin's tape was at when we stopped watching it at his house. And we're like, what? And we were so creeped out that we stopped watching it. We were scared. We were like, what happened? Why is it still on? Why is it at the exact same scene we left it on at the other place? And it was not the same VHS. That's what people always tell me when I tell this story. They're like, it was just you probably brought the VHS over. I'm like, we wouldn't have done that. We owned the VHS. He had a different VHS. We watched it up until that scene at his house, and then we went home to our tape and popped it in at the first scene it was on, and then that was the scene it was on. It was literally on the scene of him drowning that we were on before we left. I'll never get over that, and it's something me and my sister still talk about, because we both remember. I'm like, yeah, that happened. That wasn't in my mind. That actually happened. Man, that was terrifying though. VHS is scary. It's kind of weird. We're sort of hitting that generation now where they just don't know what VHS is. We're going to soon hit that generation that doesn't know what Blu-ray is or DVD, because those are probably, I give them another 10 years and they're going to be done. I kind of hope that not VHS, what am I talking about? I hope Blu-ray sort of goes the way of vinyl, and they still release them anyway, even though digital is like the way to go. I'm sort of fearful of digital destroying Blu-ray, and I don't have a problem with digital, but there is just something nice about having the actual movie. I've had problems before where I'll buy songs on iTunes, and then if the songs are removed from the iTunes store, the song will disappear off of your library. I've had it happen. Actually, it was a song about Super Mario Brothers that it's some rap by, I forgot the name of the band, but they wrote some rap song about Mario Brothers. Well, then the song was deleted off of iTunes, and then it was removed from my account for many years, until the song got back on iTunes, and then I got the song back. But yeah, I don't like digital because of that. I feel like there's too much control. I'd rather just own the movie and know I have it. If digital ever became the only norm and they didn't do physical copies anymore, I would probably just burn digital movies to Blu-rays because I want the physical, movie. But we'll see what happens. Blu-ray hasn't died yet, but you can kind of see that even the studios are trying to phase it out. The nice thing about digital for the studios is that, price-wise, they never go down because you can't resell a digital copy. You can resell a physical copy and then buy it cheaper years later when the movie is not, popular or new anymore. So you can get Blu-rays online for anywhere from like $5 to maybe even $1, but not digital. Digital, you can only buy it one way. You gotta buy it through a store online like iTunes or Amazon, and yeah, you can only buy it once. You can't resell it. I feel like I just think it's kind of too bad because Blu-rays you can get so cheap. Blu-ray also looks nicer. Digital just doesn't look as nice. So I think Blu-ray will stick around, sort of, kind of like vinyl, because people like vinyl. Apparently, it sounds better. I kind of doubt that. I think it's just a gimmick, but yeah, that's to all the people who are thinking that VHS will make a comeback. It's not gonna make a comeback. Not like vinyl. If anything, the vinyl of movies is Blu-ray. Woo! But yeah, I have my Blu-ray collection's probably getting too massive anyway. But I'm trying to buy a bunch of like classic movies. I'm really into 80s movies and basically anything released from the 80s, and then there's classic movies. There's movies in the top 1000 list or movies I watched for school that I really liked, and so the catalog is always expanding way too much, and it's like I'm just sort of wondering, okay, where do I stop this, because it's getting kind of ridiculous how many movies I own. But I kind of made the decision that, for one, I'm not buying VHSs anymore. I mean, for a while I would buy them at the store, like Savers, because they only cost $1, and I would buy them. Oh, I just had to be careful there. I would buy them, and if I had never seen the movie before, I would buy it because I'm like, this would be a good way to watch it. And I did that for a while, but then it got to the point where VHSs take up so much space, and so I started upgrading my VHS movies to Blu-ray. And now I'm even upgrading my DVD movies to Blu-ray. I just want everything on Blu-ray eventually. There's some movies that are only on DVD. There's some movies that are only on VHS even. Like, for instance, Star Wars The Jedi, that documentary made in the 80s, you can only get it on VHS. You can't, there's no DVD or Blu-ray of it. So it's kind of weird. But most of my movies, I'm going for Blu-rays nowadays. But yeah, so VHSs, mostly sticking away from those. And if the movie comes out on DVD, but I know there's a Blu-ray of it, I'll always try to wait for the Blu-ray instead, because a lot of movies I'll probably end up, I don't want to buy them multiple times, because what? I think this video's getting pretty close to the 10-minute mark, or it is over the 10-minute mark, so looks like I'll just stop the video right here, and next time I'll see you here on Cinephile Studios.